Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Breaking Bells. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Bells. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the people's champion of podcasting, Mr. Bad Bit himself. What's up, Joseph?
Yeah, man, what's going on? I'm happy to be here. I'm right now. I'm checking what's in the store right now, Bobby.
Are you?
Yeah. Let me see. I'm about to go in. Timmy and Tommy, they're my boys. They're always gonna hook me up. They're always.
They're all right.
Have you seen what my market's gonna look like though?
Okay, here's what I want to start with this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start with this because let's just come out the gate with this.
Yeah.
You've never played an Animal Crossing game before.
Never in my life. This is the first one.
First one. Okay. So this is where I want to work through some confusion here, and
okay.
We'll go back to your history of Animal Crossing, but because you brought it up, I want to jump on this. You don't time travel in this game, correct?
I think I have accidentally.
How do you accidentally time travel?
I think I did accidentally, and we're going to blame Fiona McKinnon.
Why? What happened? Explain this to me.
Okay. So, you know Zipper, the bunny, right?
Yeah.
I don't like Zipper one dang bit.
Okay.
He annoyed me to no end. I heard they nerfed him.
Yeah, you big time.
But after day 3, I was just like, I'm going to be real. I was loving the game until they introduced him. Mm-hmm. And when they introduced him, he was ruining the game for me.
Okay.
He was like because I love fossils in the game. That's the thing I like to dig up.
Digging up eggs.
And I'm digging up eggs constantly, and I'm fishing up eggs constantly, and it ruined fishing for me. Where to the point I was just like, I'm not doing this. Yeah. So I go to Fiona. I'm like, okay, if I just take my clock back a week from now, before this madness started, would that constitute time traveling? She's like, I don't think so.
Yes, it does. What does she mean it does? She don't know.
So I did, and everything felt right in the beginning because I was just like, okay. So like I started at when you're doing the Nook miles, it started me back at 50. So I'm not still I was not getting my 300 plus that I normally would get.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, cool. And I just started playing the game the way I would, and nothing was broken. Like no other villagers came to my town because I time traveled. I don't even think I was at that part yet.
So wait a minute. Let me stop you there.
Okay.
What's your current date in the game?
So okay, here's where I definitely did time travel, because then since the event is over, I went into time. I went to my modern day. I thought time traveling is literally you taking the clock, and this is how little I know about Animal Crossing. Me literally going from where I was, Marty McFlying, till April 2021. That's what I thought. How the progression worked was on a monthly basis.
Time travel any movement of the clock.
Yeah, so I did cheat, but it wasn't. I didn't do it.
Well, here's my problem, Joseph. Here's my problem. I've been pointing to you as the one person who hasn't time traveled, but has the upgraded Nook's Cranny.
So so I do buy from him all the time. So probably by the end of the month you will get that upgraded shop.
But that's BS, man. I want this thing. You don't even have terraforming.
I don't. I want it, and that's the thing that sucks. I still don't. I still need to get KK. What is it? Slider.
KK Slider. What's it?
Slider. And listen. All right. Let me take a drink of this coffee. All right. My throat it's parched. But KK Slider still hasn't played his jam. He hasn't opened the pit up yet in my island. So I do want terraforming because that's my next step. I want to put my house on the top of the mountain.
Yeah, terraforming is a lot of fun. Okay. So then, I guess what the answer is we are true to 28 days. It seems like 28 days seems to be the number that people are pointing at. Like once you hit 28 days, and you spend a certain amount of money, it unlocks the next one.
Okay. Makes sense to me, man.
I'm disappointed in you, man. You ruined it for me, man. I
didn't cheat to cheat.
I know you did, but why are you listening to Fiona? Why would you go to Fiona?
Here's the thing, Guru.
I know she's a female.
She brought me to her island, and it was like a utopia. And I go, Fiona, how many hours do you have in this game? This is like a week afterwards. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She has guru miles on her, man.
Man.
She's like, over 90. I had a week off. I'm like, all right. So like, I'm like, okay, she's a pro. You're streaming. I don't want to bother you. It's not like it did it today. It honestly, guru, it meant nothing to me.
Well, apparently it meant nothing to you.
Yeah.
But you don't do stuff like that, Joseph.
Well, I'm not. So again, I'm not time traveling to benefit. Like I'm not. I've seen people. I saw.
I know. I understand why you did it. I get why you did it.
Zipper just sucks, man. He sucks.
He was rough, dude. He was rough. And see, the crazy thing is this. Typical. I think Nintendo had a little bit of a problem, and it was based upon when the game released. Typical holidays are a month long. So you have time to collect what you need to do what you have to do. And typically, we're not having to craft items, so that's a new spin, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think they wanted to lock stuff behind and people be left out. And so I think they were panicked a little bit, like, how do we handle this holiday? But after, like, the first weekend, they totally changed it.
Oh, yeah?
And they were like, okay, we're gonna decrease the amount of spawns of these eggs until the final day. The final day of Bunny Day, it was insanity. Like, but I understand that because now you're trying to get enough stuff out there for people that are trying to finish off. So,
yeah, no, again, like, and to me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait, next holiday, because to me, this very much feels like, I'm gonna throw some games at you that you don't expect. Okay. Definitely feels like Destiny in the way of grinding.
Okay.
Where you're always trying to grind for that specific thing, and when there's like, an event in the Crucible, it's for that week or for that weekend. Like when the Iron Banner happens, like you want to grind that entire week for that set of armor. That's what Animal Crossing does on a much more wholesome level.
Yeah.
And when this holiday happened, everybody was pumped. I was just like, chances are it's gonna suck because this is the first event and they need to iron out the kinks. Chances are a lot of them are not going to be great until we get a few months in and there's more holidays to, for them to stretch their legs on. But my problem was, again, it was just like every other, you hit a goddamn rock. It's just like 8 eggs pop out of it. I'm like, enough. And so it was a boiling point. I had trouble with it because I was just like, I don't want to do this if it's cheating, but I actually don't want to play the game if this is...
Technically speaking, you didn't do it in a cheating fashion.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people will do it because they're trying to unlock things, get to things quicker. Meaning, there's people that'll literally go like, hey, I just bought this bridge. I don't want to wait for 24 hours. So I'm going to go skip ahead, get the bridge, and then... Now I'm here, and then I literally watched a streamer one night go do her daily tasks for the day. Okay, we're complete and scene. Now we're going to move to the next day. And then she worked through her next day, and it was like, okay, and scene next day. And it was like, man, you're going to be the December in a couple of days. Like, that's just crazy. So I look at, I've been on record to say this, and I believe this. You play the game how you want to play the game. Yes. Whatever is the most benefit to you and the most fun to you, knock yourselves out. I don't consider time travel cheating. I don't consider... there are aspects of it that can be considered cheating. Like, if there's certain ways to, But I don't... You know what I mean? Like, it's... Like, I watched a girl one day go... A woman says to her, what's an easy way to make money? And she goes, oh, the easiest way... Get like 99,000, like put 1 million bells in your bank account and then time travel to 2060. And she's like, you'll literally she's like, you just time travel to 2060. Yeah. Log in and there'll be 99,000 bells right here in your bank account. Then back up and then go forward and then back up and then go forward. And she's like, and I'm like, dude, what fun is that? Yeah. That to me is that's, I don't see the enjoyment in it.
So, and I will say this again. When I did go back in time just to make sure, because I was making a bridge and I did have money in the account. I did take them all out, and just to be sure, because like to me, Animal Crossing is it like it sucks when you rush it.
Yeah,
It's
slow
about like
pace.
okay,
It's about
yeah,
the
like you
pace.
got an hour or two. I'm gonna make a road or some crap like that,
Yeah, you
right?
jump in, you spend a little time, you do whatever.
Yeah.
Like, dude, nothing was more enjoyable to me
Mhm.
than back in the day when I was playing on the 3DS, and I was married at the time, and she'd be laying on the couch, and I'd be on the recliner, and like it'd be a Sunday morning, and I'd have a cup of coffee, and she'd have whatever she was drinking, and she'd have the dog laying on her, and like we would burn through hours, and then
Mhm.
like look at each other like, I guess we should go do something today. And it was like just a real quiet, like we weren't even talking. We
Yeah.
were just playing, and it was just like but we're doing like I'm fishing, I'm catching the bugs I got to catch. And it's like when you play at that slow pace, it's just so enjoyable, man. There's something so peaceful about it.
It's the most zen looter shooter I've ever experienced, because to me a lot of this game does feel like a Destiny or like a Borderlands. Like it is always about the next item, like how there's item envy in an MMO. When you look at, it's kind of like I attribute everything to Warcraft, so Carrie, I hope you're watching this. When I'm seeing someone 60 levels above me, they got all the top raid gear, they look decked out and they're awesome, and I'm like, I'm gonna be that character but cooler. Animal Crossing has the same effect, where you're looking at this town, everything's all cute, it's cuddly, it's nice, you forget about the sea virus, and you go about, and you're like, oh, they did something here, this island looks so unique for this one reason, and like you're just like, oh, I want to do that. Like it's the same, like looking at that island, I'm like, I want that but better, just like you're looking at any other high level character in any other video game. So like that's what Animal Crossing does so well. Is everything is, you see someone, you want to emulate it but be better.
Yeah. And that's in a nutshell. That's I feel like that's what it's becoming. Absolutely. You're seeing people create these towns and these islands, and it's just like, oh my god. Okay, let's back it up a little bit.
Okay.
Let's kind of go back now. So here's the thing. Pre-launch.
Yes.
You
call me out, Bobby.
You were pissing me off because all these, you're in the chunk pre-camp. Hey, there's no cross save. I don't want this thing. This is trash. This is stupid. It's 2020, Nintendo. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And all I kept saying was, shut up, because when the game drops, everybody's buying it. Yeah. Game drops, Joseph buys it. Yeah. Well, what triggered you to buy it? How do you go from not wanting it to wanting it? So
it took a full-blown pandemic.
Oh, good God.
I was waiting for, I think it was like, I was waiting for Doom, and I was just like, I need something to pass the time. I forget what, the days blur. I need something to pass the time. I can't just be slaying demons. I need to do something zen, and I need to kind of forget. And it was really just like okay, this doesn't have it. I need to use the Switch. I need something escape. And that's really why I bought it, because crowd saves or cloud saves, real talk. Yeah, if the game's so easily like being able to be broken, all you need to do is like set your clock to 2060 to be a billionaire. Yeah, just put cloud saves. What's going to happen? The game's going to explode at the same exact time. Does it kill the overall experience to me that I don't have cloud saves? No, with an asterisk, because my Switch hasn't broken yet. But when that time comes, because this is a digital only Switch, because I was going to wait, because I want the pink Switch real bad. I think it's a dope color. And I was going to do a shady return at GameStop to pull it off. And because that didn't happen, I was like, all right, I'll do Animal Crossing. Why not? So because my Switch hasn't died yet, but does Nintendo need to figure it out? Yes, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and they're working on it, and that's fine. And I think this update that they just launched could be the precursor to some stuff. Okay. Because they're talking about you can actually utilize, you can move your save data from your Switch to your SD card. which we were never able to do, which then goes, okay, well, I can then back up my saves to the computer. And now, if I lose it, I could just pull it off the computer, put it back on the SD, or you just have it on the SD.
Yeah.
But at least you can back it up yourself now. In theory. Yeah. If I haven't tried it yet, I'm just going by, it just makes common sense, but we're talking about Nintendo too. So.
Exactly. I was like, we are talking about Nintendo.
Now you went to PAX.
Yes.
PAX East, to be clear. And you got to see that amazing booth that they had set up. Pretty impressive, right?
That was because so I've been to PAX East twice. Usually Nintendo and Sony go all out for their booths are awesome.
Yeah.
Sony wasn't there, unfortunately, because of the whole precursor to this event, and so like if only I saw the Last of Us booth. But that said, the Animal Crossing booth
you might get it next
was
year.
Yeah, bro, we will. But like the booth this year was insane because that was it. Like it was only the line to get in and to like see KK and Tom Nook. And there was just to get the pin, which Rybo, I still need to mail it to you.
Why is he getting it?
Because he asked. And Rybo's my friend. He helps us.
We live in New Jersey. What happened?
I know it would have been easier, but Rybo.
What, this guy? You really? This guy? This guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so like I'm like, you know what? Like Rybo needs this. I'm gonna whatever. This line for this pin. I'm not like the hall is huge, Bobby.
Yeah.
In the so like here's the Nintendo booth, right? Here's the escalators like right next to it. It's a massive hall. This line stretched from the Nintendo booth to the escalator twice, and then into the other escalator across the hall. It was like a 30-minute wait. It was so fast because they just need to scan your crap and be done with it. But like it was worth it. Yeah, I think one of the lines was like 45 minutes to an hour.
That's crazy.
Just for this pen.
Well, the thing is too is I thought about it because people were like, "Oh my God, Bobby, aren't you so upset that you're not being able to go play?"
Don't be sad.
No, because that's not the way I wanted to play that game.
Yeah.
I didn't want to play it with people there watching me, some guy telling me where to go. Like, back off, jabroni. I don't need that stuff. Like, let me do my thing. You know what I mean? And that would have been the problem. I would have jumped in there and been like, no, I want to go here. Let me go here. Let me go, and
well, that's not part of the tour guide.
Yeah, we'd have had some problems. Up in there. So
yeah.
So all right. So now you get Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And you're jumping in. How tough is it for you? Because not ever playing before, like, do you find yourself lost trying to figure things out?
Yes. So when just talk a little bit more about the PAX thing for just a sec.
Yeah.
When everybody walked out of that, they're going, awful demo, awful, dreadful. But I'm still excited for the game because the game looks promising. It's just how they delivered it was poor, and I was just like, how does that make sense? If the demo's bad, you still have. Again, this is me never messing around with it.
Because let me explain.
Yeah.
Because the demo was 4 people co-op, and you had to follow the leader.
Exactly.
Rather than saying, "Hey, here's 10 minutes. Go explore. Go do what you want to do." That was the problem. And so you don't get a true feel of what the game is, but you get a taste and you go, okay, I get what they're doing. I don't like that demo, but here's the other thing. A lot of people walked away with a lot of knowledge based off that demo. Like, dude, I was watching that demo. Like, I was watching people play it, and I was pulling them demos apart. Like, I could see stuff that they were doing that a lot of people that were new to the game had no idea. That dude, I did an analysis video that people were losing their minds because, like, my God, I can't believe you're pulling all this stuff out of here. Because it was for someone that played and knows the game, it was so easy to pull stuff apart. So, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
How dare you, sir? So, like walking in it through the first time, the one thing that I love about video games is like the first week or two when the video game's out and everyone's learning.
Yes. Everybody's
experiencing it. What seems like a similar pace with everybody else. and that's what Animal Crossing has almost all the time. It always feels like whenever they introduce something, it always feels like I'm still learning this game, and I'm like, I'll look at the in-game clock. I'm like 40 hours into this game. Like I am in to this game, and like there are still things that I'm learning. It's the things that I think what Animal Crossing sometimes fails to do, but maybe on purpose, I don't know, is sometimes some things aren't explained the best. But then I go to people, I'm like, so like, what are we doing here? How do I terraform? When will I learn it? How do I build a bridge? How do I vault across obstacles? And then like people will just, like I'll message Fiona or I'll bother Kyle about it. And Kyle will be like, oh, it's this, that, the other thing. Or you go on the Reddit and like everybody's helping each other out. Like the Animal Crossing community, holy shit. 75 hours.
Yo, why?
Played on this game.
Dude, you should be in our Discord, man.
I am in so many Discords.
Yeah, but dude, you don't understand what's even happening with ours.
I don't.
Like, you want to talk about helping. Yo, it is unbelievable. These people are fantastic. Dude, you saw, he created the queue that's going to basically put people in line for turnip.
Oh, that was him.
He made one that's specific to, he can change it and adjust it. He created his own bot that is actually in the Discord now. Which we can have it one way, and then he can make adjustments to be hey, something's for sale in a town, and you want to go get it, and like he can create a queue over there, and dude, but the
Ribo's the ultimate guy in the chair.
Oh, dude, but the insanity is the Discord, how helpful everybody is. Like, yo, Joe, it is insane, and the wealth of knowledge of the people that are in this Discord blows me away. Like, I learned stuff from them, and like with the name Nintendo Guru, I should be learning from anybody, but they teach me stuff every day. Like, these people are on their point, they're on their game, and it is unbelievable. I think they, like, the problem with a place like Reddit, a lot of know-it-alls, and they kind of bully you. And kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like...
Well, the thing is, that, like, and I gotta say, like, and this is just casual observer looking in, the Animal Crossing community is so pure at this point in time. Maybe it's just the people
Depends where you're at. Facebook's pretty toxic at this point.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude. Some of these people are just insane.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because, like, for me, like, I like Destiny. Destiny's a great game, and it's a great example of like a game that does a lot of things right, but like it seems like every time you look at it, everybody hates what Bungie's doing, right? Like with Division right now, with players are like, they're finally getting the game right after a year, and it's like there's a lot of toxicity surrounding the content creators that make the content about these games. And when I take a look at Animal Crossing, the worst thing is like, should you time travel? And then even that I've seen like some people go, no, don't. But it's kind of seems like a like parents that are on the brink of divorce where they're just like, we're not going to talk to each other. This is a disagreement mommy and daddy are having. And we'll just go to bed angry.
Pretty on point.
Yeah. So like that's pretty much like the temperature in the room when it comes to like how toxic the two communities get. Is just like, oh, I don't want to mess with you then. It's not like I don't see a lot of name calling, which is what
no,
I
don't mean like that.
Yeah.
I don't mean like that. Yeah. But it's very like just people. I guess because I've been around so long, I can see it and pick up on.
How many, 70, 80 years?
Facebook, 90. Facebook can be a little much. Facebook can be like real, like, well, why would you do it that way? That's not the way you do it. And it's like, okay, like, just calm down, man. Just because something worked in New Leaf doesn't mean it's going to work in New Horizons. We've learned that already. Like, it's already, there's already things that they've changed that work.
What are like name like 2-3 things that have changed from New Leaf to Horizon?
Orchards. So orchards were basically like you plant trees in a row. Right? And basically it'd be like a checkerboard. That's the easiest way to do it. So you would pick a color, black or white, right? So and then you would say like you're gonna be black. So every black space you would dig a hole, right? The white spaces you don't do anything. You leave them open. And then you plant a cherry or whatever, a cherry, a pear, apple, whatever is not your native fruit, you plant in these holes. And it used to be where you could have a grid that was like maybe 5 trees wide by 5 trees wide, right? And it could feel like a checkerboard. It used to be the whole thing would grow in at the same time, same pacing. For some reason it doesn't do in this game.
Yeah, it is kind of like
it does on the outside.
Yeah,
that's
it's on the outside. It's
so weird. You have to. So what I came up with in one of my videos was I realized you have to transplant stuff. So you have to grow your stuff away, and then do your grid, and then bring those trees over and transplant them in. So that's one that's huge. The fact that you can actually transplant trees is huge. Yeah. The breakable tools, my God, it's like Breath of the Wild.
That is getting old, man.
Well, it doesn't. To me, it's not bothering me as much as it did early on because the flimsy stuff was driving me bananas. Yeah. Now that I'm in the upgraded state, and then there's a more upgraded state, and then you go gold tools. So,
okay. I see. I'm not even at the better state. I'm still at the basic B one.
So you So you unlocked the new nooks, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Check your cabinet.
Okay.
Where you can buy seeds and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
There might be good tools in there that you want to buy.
Let's take a look right now.
Might actually be a DIY recipes for those upgraded tools.
Okay.
So you want to look at stuff like that and jump into that.
Yeah.
I think it's called Outdoorsy is the model that you're looking for.
Okay, Outdoorsy
tools. And you can actually customize those to be different color nets and different all kinds of stuff. So it's
I see an Outdoorsy slingshot.
So if you buy that, it lasts longer than your regular slingshot. So what happens is it becomes kind of like Breath of the Wild. As you get these weapons and these tools that are further and further, it just lasts longer and it doesn't break as easy.
Taking a look at this right now. So the Wildest Dreams DIY.
So you should be. That's the thing. That's another thing. Anytime you get a chance to buy DIYs like that, you should be buying that stuff and learning the recipes because it's going to help you upgrade your tools and upgrade all your stuff. So you definitely want to jump into that stuff.
Yeah, and that's one thing when I first upgraded. When I upgraded Nook's Cranny the first time, I was just like, "Wait, where's all the seeds?"
That's where they are. They're in that
cabinet. Yeah.
So that's what you want to do. So
it's like I'm in my grandma's house again. Everything's in the cupboard.
It's the way it always is, man. It's the way it always is. So, I think the other thing with this game that might, and that's where I think is a little different, is there is kind of a story arc through the first quarter of this game. And they're not very handholdy at all in this game.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you can run into some problems of like, man, how do I get to this? And how do I get to that? And how do I, and the crazy thing is like, it's even tough for guys like me that have played, or it was. I'm pretty far along now. But another thing, here's another difference between New Leaf and New Horizons. Perfect towns. In New Leaf, right, you basically just had to have X amount of trees, X amount of flowers. That's it. So you had to have so many trees planted, so many flowers planted. And then you had to maintain it for 14 days. And then it became a perfect town. Well, it would become a perfect town. Then you had to maintain it for 14 days. If you maintained the perfect town for 14 days, these flowers started growing. And the flowers actually started growing right away. And they were called Jacob's Ladders. And they're a green flower that kind of bows over and they have white little bell-looking things on them. They would start popping up day one. That's how you knew, I'm at a perfect town level now.
Right. This time we got to check in with Isabel every 2 seconds.
And then after 14 days or 16 days, whatever it was, Isabel would give you a gold watering can. Now the town's graded on star system. And we're still trying to figure out, like, what equates a 2-star town against a 5-star town.
I'm right now. I'm a 2-star town. And I'm like, I'm a 5-star man.
So you're at the cusp of becoming a 3-star.
Yeah, and I'm like, how the hell do I do this? And I've been trying, and that's the one aggravating thing I was gonna get to is, like sometimes they don't hold your hand, or they're not descriptive enough. They really do want to bring you to the wilds, and for you to just find it out on yourself. But like, it's such a delicate dance how games do that, of how some games get a pass, like a Bloodborne gets a pass of like showing you the game but like not holding your hand. Animal Crossing does, but then like you'll get to some other game that just doesn't do it as well, and they're like, this game doesn't show you what to do. It's like it's such a weird a weird critique that I don't think anybody's learned how to describe. But like Animal Crossing does that well in some points, but other points it's just like it just gets aggravating.
I think why Animal Crossing gets a pass is because for so many years and so many different versions of the game, they did handhold us. They did walk you through step by step by step. Literally, you would start the game, you'd show up, you go to work for Tom Nook, and he'd be like, hey, go over to the bulletin board and the message board and leave a message on the board. And you go do that. Like, hey, here's a package. Go over to Rodney and give Rodney the package. And you go deliver a package. And then you go back and go, hey, here's a flower. Go out front and plant the flower. And you go out there and you plant the flower. Hey, go get me some fruit and bring it back and sell it to me. And it was like, my God, can we stop this? Like, I don't want to do this no more. Please leave me alone. So this one's very
for what
different.
It seems like, they substituted that with the Nook Mile things, which like plant 5 flowers, and then you kind of like, if you don't know, you'll learn. You're like, well, how do I do that? And you're like, well, it's again that delicate dance of like, you have to use your critical thinking. And if your critical thinking can't pick up on it, it gets aggravated. It's kind of like when you're playing a scary game. If it's not, if the scare doesn't get you, let's say you die in like Resident Evil, and then you die multiple times, it doesn't become scary anymore. It just becomes aggravating. Whereas like Animal Crossing, it's like, okay, I need to plant flowers. Well, how do I plant flowers? And then your brain will go, well, usually you dig a seed up, and then you put the seed in the ground, and bam, it takes a while.
You don't have to do that. You can just hit plant seed and boom, it drops it.
Bam, yeah, and like it's kind of like that in a way. And when Animal Crossing does those certain things, you feel good about it. You feel smart. But when it doesn't, and it's just like, be a 3-star town. Well, how?
So here's the thing, and I'm gonna throw some stuff at you to kind of help you get to this next level.
Okay, please.
3-star town. How many villagers are living in your town?
I think we're getting up there. How many can you have?
10.
I would like to say I'm at 10. I would like to say I'm getting up there. I got a lot.
Have you gone to Nook and paid him the 10,000 bells to put the plots out? Okay.
Yeah.
The next thing would be, what was the dance that got you there? Remember when he told you to decorate around the houses that you were setting up?
Yeah.
So now get some fencing, put some fencing around the houses, put a table out there, put chairs out there. Like,
and
do
see, my
that
thing
for each
is,
person.
they're all like the way I like to do houses. First off, this is very incomplete. All right, but it's all grid based.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be like a New York City like town.
Yeah.
So like, and looking at other people's towns, I'm like, oh, I know how to get this. I see what they're doing, and I like it the way they're doing it a little bit more. But yeah, that's the one thing I've learned. But like, I'm like, I put a lot of fencing in a lot of places, and I'm just like, still I'm a 2-star man. I'm a 5-star.
But you got to also put other things out. Put out.
Yeah.
You want to grab, if they're go into your Nook stop, right? Okay. And the stuff you could buy with Nook Miles, buy it. Put out a lighthouse. Put out a water fountain. Put out all these different things.
I got 2 fountains. Yeah. I got 2 fountains. Yeah.
I think part of me thinks that if you multiply things, you don't always get the credit for that. Like, let's just say hypothetically, everything's working off a point system, right? And you got to score, let's say, 20 points in order to become a 3-star town. Okay. And when you put a fountain out, they give you 5 points for that fountain. You put a second fountain out, I don't think they give you 10. I think they give you maybe 6. Like maybe the second of that thing starts to go down.
It gets reduced. Yes. It gets reduced gradually.
I think that you can't just take like 60 fountains and lay them out across the ground and go, okay, we're 5-star town. Like, I don't think it works that way. Yeah. So I think you got to look at it like that and go, okay, what do we do? But like I put a lighthouse out. I put the fountain in the middle.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Godzilla? Tacky. It's tacky.
I think it's very tacky.
Yeah, Godzilla very tacky. the mech also very tacky. I'm not
This
here
is my
to
problem. This is my problem.
Tell
Why
me.
it's becoming very difficult for me to be a 5-star town.
Yeah.
I have a problem with the Godzilla. I have a problem with the silo. I have a problem with the water well that's just a regular brick one. I have a problem with the construction sign. I have a problem with the power poles, all that stuff. Like, it doesn't appeal to me. And I'm sitting here going like, man, what do I do that looks
and they're
impressive?
trying to, yeah, because like for the longest time, I get it, because like for the longest time, it's just like do what you want,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden they're changing it up, going be uniform, be this.
Well,
This is what a good town
uniform.
is.
They're just saying basically like go into Nook Stop, buy some of them items with your Nook miles, and put them out. But
Yeah.
dude, I'm sorry, I don't want a swimming pool in my town,
Right.
like or in my island. I feel like it's stupid. I feel like it's dumb. Like it doesn't look right, you know. And
Yeah,
then,
it feels like that. Like again, the Godzilla doesn't belong there.
why do I need teacups? I'm not building Disney World.
Well, and I think because like Nook Miles, it forces you to either A, keep playing the game in terms of like farming the Nook Miles, or it makes it so that it's gating the wall on purpose for progression. They don't want you. They put a gate out there in front of you on purpose so that you cannot progress until the next day.
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of and that kind of looks like I was helping
Also,
a horse give birth. But you know what I'm saying.
Do you have inclines and bridges yet?
Yes, I got
Okay.
2 bridges. I don't like them. I need to change them.
Okay.
I got, and here's the other thing. Like, I would love terraforming right now because I don't want to put another incline up because I know I'm going to tear it down when I start terraforming.
Doesn't matter.
I know, but I don't want to. It's like, to me, it's like, it's more work I got to do. Not,
You don't
and
understand.
not that I
Man.
want
That's
to.
where it becomes fun. When I think this is another reason why I didn't like really take off. Like when I was building my town, I was kind of like, until I hit the point to terraforming, it was a free for all. I was doing whatever I needed to do just to get the terraforming. And now that I got the terraforming, it's like, okay, sir. Now we're going to take our time. We're going to build it the way we want to build it and make it right. And I think that's the difference between, there's people that were so methodical that they were literally planning their stuff before the game even launched.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get into that far because I was just like, okay, in theory I could do that, but like that's not fun to me. The only thing that I did in my head was I looked at New Leaf and I went, and I talked about it in my tour video, my island tour video that I put out today. But in my mind, what I thought was, okay, I liked how New Leaf had a town up above, or a city up above the town. I was like,
Yeah.
So I did like a little shopping district and a museum.
Yeah.
On mine. So when you go up there, everything's tight. It's beautiful. It's up on the 3rd level. It's away from everything. And then now I'm actually going to start doing something different with the level.
And so like what I kind of wanted, and it's kind of what like the map layout that I have set is kind of the map layout that I want to keep for the most part. But I want the town to be, for the most part, like, city center right there. Some towns on the top, the top layer of the first little island that I've made. And then on the side, I have Able sisters and a house on the side. So it kind of looks like they may live there. And then on the other corner is like more residential. And then on the very tippy top, like I want to make a long road, lots of forests leading up to my house that's on the mountain, so that I'm overlooking the town, because that's kind of how my town's laid out. My town, there's a peak, Makeout Point. It's actually called something else, but this is a PG show. And can I say it?
No.
Okay,
Don't say
you
it.
get the idea.
No, we don't. Just let it
This is
move
your
it
life.
along. Move it along.
Okay. Anyway, so like over there, Hand Stuff Central, you overlook and you see New York City. And like that's what I like. I love that point because like you right where you are, and it's almost perfect for me. But there's still like there's still buildings near me. I want to be totally secluded and overlooking. I just see the city, and that's kind of what I want. In New Horizons, where I'm just looking over the town, and it's just like be really peaceful. Like I want a lot of trees, I want a lot of forests, and it's very capitalistic because every 3 days I'm making like 200 bells, 200,000 bells. Don't like to brag.
It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Are you finding
Soft
this being your first time playing? Are you finding making money easy or difficult?
I love how they did it. So far, so good. If like in the beginning, it's challenging, and as you progress, it gives you a good sense of, man, in the beginning of the game, getting 10,000 bells hard as hell, but then once you played it for a few days and you got the handle on things, that takes you 5 seconds.
Yeah,
you know, like it's money. No, it doesn't. And so like it works. I think money works as it should, as a way to halt progression, but not making, again, it's a gate, but it's kind of, you could push the gate open. Yeah. It's not barring you from anything. So that's what I like.
I think the problem for me with making money is the house. The increments of payment on the house are so expensive, and I don't feel like you get as much house for the money you're spending. I feel like the houses were bigger in New Leaf than they are in New Horizons. They cost more than they did in New Leaf, which I wouldn't mind paying more if you gave me the same size house that you gave me in New Leaf. The only difference is the basement and the upstairs are rectangular as opposed to squares. It used to be the middle floor, when that expands out, that would be the size of your second story. It'd be a little bit small, just a little bit smaller than that one. And the basement would be the same size. And
I just got the basement, by the way.
This one feels different. You know? And it also kind of let you pick which rooms you were adding on.
Now, do you think it's kind of messed up they gave you a bidet but no toilet?
They gave you a toilet?
They didn't give me a toilet. They just gave me a bidet. I'm like, I can't crap in a bidet. What are you doing, game? What are you doing, Tom Nook?
Here we go. Okay. So anyway. Good God. So what about the Nook Miles? Like, are you good with the Nook Miles? Are you struggling with that aspect of it?
I'm not a fan of it. I'll be real straight up with you. Again, Nook Miles are there to hold progression, just to hold it. It's not any. It's literally so that you're not going faster than the game can. You're going as fast as the game wants you to go, and I don't like that. Well, I would much rather have.
Do you have Nook Miles Plus, or are you still on Nook Miles, the original?
I'm just on the OG. Okay. I don't got Disney Plus yet.
Once you hit Nook Miles Plus, it changes up. Because then it rewards you just for doing daily activities, just for like, hey man, catch a fish. Oh, okay, boom, here's 100 points. Hey, plant a tree. Oh, here's 150 points.
Oh, then maybe I do have plus, because they keep coming. I'll plant a house. I'll plant a tree, and then I'll be like, okay, now, you like cook a fish?
That's different. But I like the other stuff, the achievements down below. Like when you go through that list, I love all those achievements. I'm like, oh my god, these are amazing. I want more. So you're the type of gamer. You've been notorious for like buying upgrades, buying expansion passes, buying all that stuff. What does Nintendo need to do for you to give them more money for this game?
It's weird because they have it in a way. Typically, when you take we're gonna bang the Destiny bus again, but we're gonna do it. Take a look at Destiny or Division or any games of service game. Typically, they have these holiday events. MMOs do it as well. You buy items, and they're all cosmetic. But because everything is in Animal Crossing is cosmetic, you do have a problem with going, hey, this chair is 99 cents. Go ahead, buy it or don't. Even if it's like a dumb, stupid, egg-colored chair, still kind of shady. Or does it feel right? Not shady. So, like, how would expansions work is maybe, again, like, maybe this is all it is, where it's just, maybe the expansion is, hey, second island.
Or expand out, or make a bigger island.
Yeah. that's a way of like, hey, you want to start even fresher than before? Here's another island, build on it. Because like I would like, part of me would go, okay, well maybe build a house, like a second house or like an addition to. I'm like, no, that doesn't feel right. But like, have they done it in the past before? Like,
they've never charged us for DLC. DLC in Animal Crossing has always been for free.
Yeah. Maybe that's how it should be.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it being free, but I'm just saying what would cause you to spend money. For me personally, I know what would make me spend money. And that's the paths that they offer us in the terraforming kit, in the construction kit. I love them. I think they're fantastic. If Nintendo were to make another 10, I'd buy them. You know what I mean? Like, if they were to just be like, hey, here's 10 new ones. Yeah. We're going to give you gray brick now. Like, it's going to be the brick pattern, but it's gray instead of red. And we're going to give you a true red brick. Or we're going to give you whatever. Like, we're going to give you, different type of wood. Because they have wood slats as well. Different type of wood. We're going to offer you staircases to kind of give the effect of a staircase. Like, whatever it is, I love theirs. I think they do a great job with it, so I would like that. I would definitely. I would say pocket sizes if you can expand your pockets even further.
I was thinking that as like, because like Pokemon does that.
Yeah.
So you could kind of like, if people are gonna complain either way. Yeah. We just go. Pokemon Go does it. Pokemon does it with the Pokemon Bank. So like, that makes sense to me. It'd be like $1 a month. I
don't even need
nickel every Tuesday.
Yeah, just be like, hey man, here, give me $5, and we're gonna give you 5 more. Give me $5, and we're gonna give you slot 50. You're gonna be able to open up 50 to 60 more slots in your pockets. Okay. Or whatever.
What do you think the Gymquisition video of that's gonna look like? Like the thumbnail.
I don't listen to that guy. Anybody that listens to that guy needs to check their head out. All right, that dude is a lunatic.
Nintendo used to be such a great company.
He is horrible. That guy, come on, man. The stuff he does during the Amiibo days, I wanted to just slap him. Like, I watched some pretty. Because like you're
giving me all these ideas, and I'm just thinking of the outrageous YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure people would get mad about anything that I just said. You know what I mean? But
can I say something though? Can I be real talk? Like man to man, son to father. I think you're right now. This whole month, you've been in your element with Animal Crossing. And I truly I say this. I've said this to Sean on multiple occasions. You're in your element. You're doing content that you really are liking and you're into. And I think you found it. Like Twitch, I think is your thing, man. Like now when I think of you, I'm like, you're on Twitch, you're streaming Animal Crossing, you're streaming Nintendo content. Like, your videos are doing fantastic because they're the things that you're interested in and the things that you're excited about, and it bleeds through. And that's why people, at the end of the day, they click on any piece of content because it bleeds through all like that enthusiasm. That's what people want. At least that's what the ladies told me.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I can honestly say, the weird thing is with this one, and my content creation in the past and now, and that I was churning out some of the most content of all the people that we're in the circles of. Yeah. People used to look at me and go, how the hell does Bobby put out all these videos? They would have teams of people that couldn't keep up with what I was doing, right? And I was burning out. Like, I was dying. Like, I was on life support. Like, I need air. I need oxygen. To the point where I went to Sean. I was like, dude, I got to step back. I can't do this no more. And now I'm doing more than I did then. And I'm not even blinking an eye. I love it. Yeah.
It's the content that you want. Like it's the same, it's the same when I look at Bad Bit, I'm in the stage of like, of looking at you as inspiration going, okay, I need to batten down the hatches and think about what's the thing that's bringing me joy. And it's obviously like the trophy room, but like, I'm like, but I also love Animal Crossing. I want to talk about Animal Crossing. So it's just like, it has transformed your content in such a positive way that it can't go unnoticed. Now back to Animal Crossing.
Thank you. The one thing I will say,
Yeah. Yeah.
the one thing I will say before we go back to where we're at is the community is what did it for me.
Yeah.
Like when I started producing content, the kindness that these people were giving me, I was like, how can you be mad? How can you be angry and raging about this game? Because there was stuff that people were flipping out about, and I was like, no, man, this community needs somebody that's going to speak highly of it and speak in a terms they can relate to and enjoy. The way that I'm talking about it, everybody in the community feels the same way I am, and that's why they're all exuberant and talking and following and basically going like, hey, man, you're an idiot up there jumping around doing stupid stuff, but we appreciate it because that's how we feel. So it's it's whatever. So here's my question.
Okay.
Before we wrap up, because we're getting pretty close to the top.
Yeah.
How long do you see yourself playing this game for?
So I already see, like, I've already tapered off a little bit because I'm playing Final Fantasy VII, and everybody's
bad game, but go ahead.
Everybody's super attractive, Bobby.
Well, that's the problem.
Everybody, and that's the thing, is like everybody is so thirsty all the time. They're parched. But like I see, like Animal Crossing's kind of taking a step back, but it is a game that I'm going to constantly go back to. Because I don't want to. My problem is, look, I'm at 75 hours. So if I stop,
crazy.
Yeah, if I stopped tomorrow, I feel like I've gotten every penny out of this game that I wanted.
Yeah.
But it is a game that I feel like I'm going to be, over the next few months, going back to, fixing up my town, creating the town that I want, and then seeing what comes in the way of events. And the thing that I know, it's kind of like, the games as service games, where I know when the new event comes, I'll be there, but when the hemisphere or the seasons change, rather, like that's like, I want to see how the game and the environment changes when summer hits. Yeah,
when summer hits, you're gonna lose your mind. If you liked fishing before, it's lights out, because there's good fish to catch all hours of the night. And when you get out there, you start catching sharks and all that stuff. Like, it's amazing.
Okay, Fiona caught sharks. Was she playing on the southern hemisphere? I think she's playing. Well, you know what? She's living in like Antarctica of Canada over there. Nova Scotia.
She must have been playing in somebody's southern hemisphere.
Yeah,
it's the only way catching sharks.
And that, like, shout out to Fiona, because looking at her town and like the museum was the thing that I was like, oh, this game has a layer of depth I wasn't aware of. Like, you're teaching kids evolution. That's fantastic. They need to know that.
It's insanity to show what that game has.
And shout out to Humphrey. I was like, I need to give this guy a shout out. I need to get his name right. This guy looks upset literally all the time, but he's so nice.
This is what's going to draw you back.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Okay.
You're going to fall in love with certain characters. And that's what's going to bring you back, because you're going to be like, I want to see how this guy's doing.
Here's the thing. You know how I feel about the 1%. You know how I feel. I'm on the Bernie paying bus for life. And let me tell you something. Tom Nook's a good man. He's a good man. And here's how I know he's a good man. Okay. Every time he crafts something, he claps. And he does, because he doesn't have little hands. He's a dumb raccoon. He doesn't know. He doesn't have opposable thumbs.
Dude,
he has little nubs.
Watch when this. I do this just the 1 week. Watch when you go up to somebody, right, or you catch a fish in front of somebody. Dude, they one hand clap. They smack themselves on the chest. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Your hands go together. You don't smack yourself on the chest. Oh, it's so stupid.
He's got little nubs. Timmy and Tommy, shout out. Like, that's the other thing about this game as well, is like, it's also about the characters. And like, it's all like surface deep for the most part, but like Timmy and Tommy, like, they all have their little quirks. Yeah. Like Timmy and Tommy are talking at the same exact time, but like Tommy's a little bit off. Like, that's hilarious to me, because I'm like, these boys are their consciences are linked.
Yeah.
They're telepathic. Yeah, like, amazing. So like, if one of them's sick, does the other one get sick? If one of them dies, does the other one die?
What I'm hoping for you,
is one of them a cadaver? Yeah.
As you being a new player, I'm hoping that they find a way to bring some of these old characters back, because there's a lot of characters missing, and I think that you would really enjoy the game more. But I'm impressed that you're at 75 hours.
Yeah.
Especially coming from someone, like I said to start the show, like, you wanted nothing to do with this game.
Mm-mm.
So the fact that you're 75 hours in is insanity.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the dodo birds, dude.
They're pretty awesome.
Like his Tarantula Island is another one. And like I finally got to like be at the island, which was nuts. That was cool.
That's cool.
But like every time they're faint, they're like, whiskey foxtrot. Yeah, we got barn door down. Repeat, we have a barn door down. And he's like, barn door, I thought you didn't make the day. Well, like every time I'm like unconscious, I'm like, you always think I'm gonna die. Like obviously, I'm a little hurt. I'm a little messed up.
At this point, bro, we're alive. Just get back up and get back in there.
Also, at this point, you think I built a tolerance.
Yeah.
I got so much tarantula venom in me.
You ever see Rocky 5? When Rocky gets knocked down and Mickey's like, I didn't hear no bell. That's what it reminds me of. I didn't hear no bell. Get up.
Whiskey foxtrot. I didn't hear a bell. Over. Like those. Fantastic. Yeah, there's only one that I didn't like. And I don't know how to get him out of my town.
It'll happen. Give it time.
But and listen, I love Patty Wagon. I think he's a great guy. But this bird's reminding me of Pat a little bit because I think he has a soul patch. Like he has a little bit of scruff on him, and he's dressing how I think Pat would dress. But like he's so pompous. He's like, oh, I'm this island's great because I'm here. I'm like, I want you gone, but I also want KK Slider in my island ASAP. So I guess I'm gonna have to trade.
You're gonna have to do some stuff, man. You have to do some stuff. But
how do I make it look like an accident, Bobby? That's the last question.
Anyway, Joseph, thank you for coming on today. Please let everybody know where they can find you at.
You can find me over at Bad Big Games, where I talk about all things game news, reviews, and unboxings. Again, Bad Big Games on YouTube. And The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. Each and every Thursday, me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest and greatest of all things PlayStation on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. There you go. That's me.
You can follow me Instagram, Twitter, and over here on Twitch at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.